along with all the gang here, Lost Silver Productions. It is Friday night, September 23rd, 2016. We are ready for another night here of game show talk and fun. Hopefully my voice will as we play this out. And for the first time all season and stuff like that, we've got all of our core players here. Finally, once and for all, we're ready to all throw down and have debate here. We've got Paul Williams all ready to go. Yeah, you see him there. He's manning the switches on this one and stuff like that, mainly because he got there first. And in addition, my tag team, behind the mic at the game, Scott Goldiner. Are you there, Scott?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I was just saying, you didn't say anything. Be nice if you said hi. Okay, and
I'm gonna start doing match game stuff. I'm gonna hold up a sign.
Yeah, do something, anything, please, by all means. And the man who started this all, he's finally here for one of these shows. We are glad to have him, glad he can make it again, and hopefully he can do this a lot more. David Hammond, welcome back to the group.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay, now as we get started here, let me just, I'm just taking care of this on the Lost Silver Production Facebook page. Wants to join in on the conversation tonight, go through our business here. I'm putting the Google Hangout link. Hopefully it works. And I'm going to get shared on my own page in case anybody sees it on the outside here. So I apologize that we're doing this stuff a little bit on the fly. Bear with us here, but we're getting all in place. While I do that, let's get our usual business started and get our Smash or Trash. And we've got a lot of Smash or Trash to cover tonight, including two new items that just really came over the wire in like the last 24 hours, because I gave these guys the lineup for what we were going to do for Smash tonight, and everything's all changing. All right, let's start first. What did I put at the top of the list? Oh yes, the Primetime Emmys. Let's get that out of the way. Our winners that we established between this past Sunday night and the week before. We had The Voice, which won for best competition program, and in a surprise for best host, RuPaul for RuPaul's Drag Race took home the honors. So let's get an opinion on each of those here. Here, David, lead it off there. Which of the choices do you in general approve of?
Well, it was me and you, Brian. We're in the same boat here. We were pulling for Amazing Race, but we kind of figured not this year. It wasn't going to happen.
Well, actually, don't speak for me, because no, I got a different opinion about that. So all right, but you're saying for your personal taste, you're saying that you wanted to see the Amazing Race win. Who did you think coming into this, though, genuinely was going to win?
I honestly thought going into this, the one I thought was going to win was The Voice.
Okay.
I was hoping for Amazing Race, but I kind of figured The Voice would take it.
Okay, yeah, and I'm in the same boat with you on The Voice because yeah, I really thought that, like, well, here, I'll get to my reason for that in a second, whatever. Now, Scott, I remember when the nominations first came out. I know what your opinion was, Scott, the whole way through.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, here, all right. While you do that, here, let's get Paul in the business here. So Paul,
all right.
Did the right guy? Did the right show win? Were you pulling for something else instead, personally, or what?
Looking at what was nominated for this category, I didn't see it go to anybody else but RuPaul. So, looking at the nominees, for those that don't know, it came down to Jane Lynch for Hollywood Game Night.
Okay, so you look at the host here.
Yeah. Jane Lynch for Hollywood Game Night. Ryan Seacrest for American Idol. Tom Bergeron for Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn for Project Runway.
Correct.
And Steve Harvey for Little Big Shot, starring Steve Harvey. So out of all these shows that are listed, the only one that remotely seems interesting is RuPaul. RuPaul's Drag Race, so I have no problem and actually kind of expect.
Well, like I said, that was for hosts, not for show.
Right. For show, let's see. Yeah, she only got nominated for. RuPaul only got nominated for Outstanding Costumes, Outstanding Host for a Reality Series, and then Outstanding Makeup for a Multi-Camera. That's the technical one. Let me see if I can find.
Yeah. But between the shows you had Amazing Race, American Ninja Warrior, The Voice, what did I forget? Project Runway, Top Chef, and Dancing with the Stars. Those were the shows that were nominated.
Right.
And of those, The Voice won. Now, of those 6, did you feel that The Voice was right to win, or were you personally rooting for something else?
I kind of thought The Voice was going to win. I just didn't think it was really going to do anything. But yeah.
All right, so you're kind of in that point or whatever. Okay.
Right.
All right, Scott, you back in there?
Yeah, I'm back here.
Okay, so now I remember weeks ago you were when the nominations first came out, Scott, you were telling me what you personally wanted to see win, and you told me, and what you said was the one you wanted to see win was the one that should win, or that would actually win, which was.
I forgot what I said.
Actually, I remember because you said you wanted to see American Ninja Warrior win, and you thought that that's what the Emmy people were actually going to pick.
Okay, now I got them up. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the nature of that one. Yeah. Now for me in general, I'll just say this, and we'll get to the new caller in just a second. Yeah. For me, I knew The Voice was going to win because honestly, that's the Emmy committee's darling right now. Okay, it used to be The Amazing Race. They kept constantly winning. They were the only winners forever and ever. But right now, The Voice
for 6 years straight.
Yeah, I think it was actually even longer than that, whatever it was. But they won almost every one until recently. Now The Voice is their it show right now. Okay.
Actually, Top Chef is the one that broke Amazing Race's winning streak.
Correct. Right. Yes, it was. So, and you can see why it's still being nominated. But like I said, I honestly I was with Scott, I wanted to see American Ninja Warrior win, mainly because riding on the heels of the fact that they had a winner last year. And we're going to get to all that when we get into the main discussion of American Ninja Warrior tonight in the season recap and all those things. Okay. As far as host goes, I'm going to be honest with you. I genuinely thought that I had the Emmy committee picked out in terms of thinking that I know that a lot of times the Emmy committee likes to have their little thing that they'll deny a particular person year after year after year after year, and then when their show leaves, they'll finally say, oh, okay, here's the reward for all your hard service. So I honestly thought, I expected them to give it to Seacrest. I wasn't rooting for them to give it to Seacrest, but I expected them to. So I'm kind of surprised that they didn't.
I'm not. Really.
Same here.
The Academy is not really too, how would you say, fond of Seacrest because he's got his hands in everything, including a few things that the Academy doesn't like.
Interesting. Okay. Well, hey, there's some insight for you out there, folks. So we get all that. Okay. Now let's see. While we were talking here, before we get to the next item, we got a new face jumping in there. Who's in there with us here?
That's John Bergman.
Oh, hey, John. How's it going?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
We're doing okay. We got a face to go with the name now because actually, no, wait. You've been with us once, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I've been once or twice, yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's just been a while. I got to get used to seeing your face and things like that. So real quick, before we go to the next item, you approve of the Emmy winners between The Voice and RuPaul?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't see the Emmys, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm just letting you know who won. So.
Oh, okay.
So we got that there. All right. Okay. You can tell Joey's a little excited in the background, folks. If you hear an occasional scream, you know what's up. He's busy making a rumpus mess on the floor here, as he likes to do.
The beauty of live radio, folks.
Yeah, or now podcasting. Okay, now next item up. All right, this past week, Dancing with the Stars. Like I said, the show premiered last week for the new season, and we know about the big incident that took place last week involving Olympic swimmer Ryan Lochte. As a matter of fact, this past week on Tuesday, when they did the elimination show, and I'm going to turn my laptop here so you can see it. They've actually
not heard about this. So.
Well, okay. Basically, here's what happened. After Ryan Lochte performed his initial dance last week, and I'm going to turn the camera so you can see what happened. While the judges were giving their critique, you're going to see as I hit the play here. You're going to see that there is a group of people in the audience who were protesting Ryan Lochte's appearance on the show, and they decide to take matters into their own hands. Yeah. Okay?
Okay, this should be interesting. I haven't seen this.
Okay, so here.
First time I'm hearing about it, too.
This made national news, guys. This was crazy. All right, so you see the stuff. Now, as Harry Ann's making the commentary, yeah, you're a liar, Lochte, so here they come, you see? They come and they try to bum rush Lochte. Security has to take him out and the whole thing.
Whoa, never saw this. Never even heard about it.
This is one of the things that they tell you not to do when you go attend a live TV taping.
That's true, yeah.
And Derek Huff tells the rest of them to get out in the process and stuff too. It was all crazy, guys. Yeah, no. That was just absolutely insane. Like I said, and up until this recap show on Tuesday, we had not seen that footage because initially all of those people, those guys bum rushing the stage happens off camera. But I mean, everybody, but it's caused a whole new wave of support now for Ryan Lochte in spite of everything that he did out in Rio. But in general,
I told you that was something like this was either bound to happen or everybody was going to feel bad for him. This is why everybody's going to back him up on it.
Well, right, that's true. But let's put it this way: you saw everybody with the you saw those guys that how they were wearing the no Lochte t-shirts. You saw that, whatever. Let's put it this way: the following week, this past Monday, when Ryan was set to dance, pretty much everybody, all the other contestants were initially staying there next to him when he was introduced, and they were wearing pro Lochte t-shirts to show that they were behind him.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So just some information about the new caller that's coming in. That's actually one of the contestants from the Liberty City show that we just finished doing last month.
Oh,
nice.
Okay. So we have one of your anime contestants tonight.
There you go. Pleasure.
Well, wait a minute. The one I see in the yellow. No, wait. That's wait.
No, somebody should be joining in a moment.
Oh, okay.
Because
I see Charlie Berman is here.
Right.
What's with the yellow screen, guy?
I don't know. My computer's acting up for some reason.
I swear I'm flying everybody at camera.
Rim shot, you're on Amber Alert. Ba-dum bum.
One thing that we have to add to this, and let's go ahead and get it done with the premiere of Price is Right's new.
Right, we're gonna get to that. Right. Like David said, this is one that took place just in the past 24 hours. It took place this morning, as a matter of fact. New Price is Right game hot seat premiering. As John gets called away on the phone here. So let me see, Paul. You had a still shot of the new hot seat game. Can we get that picture queued up?
No, I don't have it yet, but I can get it up in a couple of seconds. Give me a moment.
Dan's got the video already posted on Facebook.
No, I understand that, but we just want to get it. Well, we're not going to show the video, but we at least want to give everybody a visual.
We won't spoil.
If you haven't seen Price is Right today of what it looks like. I remember Paul in the description you were saying how you said it was like part temptation, part Golden Road.
In a sense, I'm not going to give too much of the detail and mechanics away, but it essentially plays out. It actually plays out more like it's in the bag, more or less. But it's based off of a clock, and it's essentially like this giant mechanical moving chair that they have.
It's in the bag.
Yeah, I saw the chair. That was weird.
Actually,
I'm going to interject here.
Well,
let's go.
Let David speak.
Let's go, Dave, then go, Scott.
Actually, if I want to interject here, it looks more like a big flat thermometer is what it looks like. And the gameplay is pretty much similar to Hurdles than it is Golden Road and Temptation.
Right. Well, there is what Paul said about like it's in the bag is that there is a progressive element to the game.
That's
because if you try to do the next thing right and it's wrong, you lose the whole game and lose whatever you got.
Go ahead, Scott.
That's true.
Okay.
I was just going to say,
it's pretty much Turtles. They give you a base price, and they show you 5 items. You have to determine if each item is higher or lower than the base price. The more you're right, the more money you win.
Yep, and I'm going to try to see if I can get that. If not the whole entire video, but at least get the image from this morning.
Right. Okay. Yeah. We'll see if we can get that up there. Here, while he's getting it up, Scott, you got an opinion with regards to hot seat?
The same exact thing David said. It's a combination, I would say, of Hurdles meets It's in the Bag.
I seen that seems reasonable. Okay. Meantime, let's see, Charlie, you're saying, okay, you just put in the comment here in the Hangout. You're saying that Hurdles is personally was one of your favorites from back in the day?
Yes, it was.
What made it so good for you?
Well, of course, the music. And I liked the way how the gameplay was. Like, then you had to got one wrong, like game over.
Well, okay, yeah, they had the crash element because the hurdle was
Excuse
too
me,
tall.
I have to step away for a second, guys.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Do what you got to do, Dave. It's okay. All right, he's muting himself there. Yeah, don't worry. believe me, folks. Yeah, as we go along with this, yeah, if something calls you away from the window or whatever, it's fine. Don't worry. We'll keep manning the ship and all stuff. Okay. So, all right. So we'll see what comes of that one as we go forward there. Here, Paul, do me a favor. I keep seeing the window jumping all over the place.
Yeah, I'm controlling it. That's me.
Okay. Yeah, let's just make sure we got that there. Okay, next item up here. Okay, we finally got to the season finale of Match Game, and we finally got to see Sarah Palin, heaven help, in action. I'll ask this real quick of the three of you. First of all, were any of you looking forward to seeing her taking part in this show?
Absolutely not.
Wait. Charles is saying no.
Go ahead, Scott.
Well, Scott, you were saying what?
I'd rather see Tina Fey doing Sarah Palin on Match Game.
I gotcha. Okay, I'm just stepping away from the TV there. All right. And Paul, what about you? Were you?
I really didn't even care, to tell you the truth. I know why they brought her on there, because she does have an inherently comedic side to her, as in almost everything that she comes out is comedically stupid. But I just shrugged my shoulders, like, okay, she's a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's got that natural stupidity that works for her.
Hence why they put her in the dummies. But there was something interesting that happens on that episode that we didn't see, and a lot of people have talked about on like the game show forum and things like that. That there was apparently a puzzle that caused a 20-minute stop down in the taping because it it revolves around a little off-color commentary and stuff like that because the contestant gave boobs as an answer, and for something I forget exactly what the puzzle was. I don't have it in front of me. But when
Are we
Jack
talking about Wheel of Fortune here?
huh?
Are we talking about?
Match game.
No, we're still talking about with the Sarah Palin episode of Match Game that just took place now. So somebody gave, so the contestant gave boobs as an answer to a puzzle. When Jack McBrayer revealed his answer, he said nipples, and initially the judges buzzed it. Alec Baldwin stopped tape, and he was telling the judges, "Are you sure that you want to not count that?" And there was a whole argument that there was a whole stop tape for like 20 minutes before it was finally said, okay, yes, it's actually a match.
That's
So,
kind of one of those gray areas.
Yeah, I mean,
if I'm wrong, if that happened on Rayburn's match game, wouldn't they have already as the match anyhow?
Well, see, I think back in Rayburn's day, I don't think you were allowed to say nipples in the first place. So this would have been it back then.
They found ways to get around it, more or less. To say if they wanted to say nipples, they would find some creative ways to go ahead and say it. They would say
yeah. Well, remember, keep this in mind, Paul. The whole thing they said back then was
on their cards rhymes with ripples. Something
okay,
like
but
that.
no, even that you couldn't say that though, Dave. You couldn't do that either because they basically told you that the match game word is boobs. Don't say urinate. The match game word is tinkle. Even if you got the cutest version of how to say it, don't use it. So they had specific ways to say certain things.
So they gave you a certain way to say, an obscenity.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
What would be considered an obscenity?
Or whatever it is that you want to call it. Yes, so that was the thing. But all in all, though, definitely a crazy experience there. Okay, let's see. Next item here. I got to like really dig back and look back at what I gave you guys because we've been doing so much talking today leading up to the show. I got to dig up the list there. Oh, okay.
I'm also ready with the hot seat images. You ready to go?
Okay, here, wait. While I'm digging up the list, show the hot seat.
Let's see those hot seat images.
Okay, so let me get hot seat up here in a moment. Give me 1 second, guys. Yay for having 2 monitors. All right, and then we're going to present this to everyone. So what you're looking at right here is pretty much hot seat. Now, first of all, when I saw this, I thought hot seat as in millionaire, and I'm like, oh, okay, you guys are taking a shot at it, but no. So I won't go over the full details about it, but as you can see, the contestant is climbing into one of the chairs, and like Dave said, it's a giant thermometer, more or less. The contestant's going to sit down beside the chair, and they're going to have 2 little buttons over here to go ahead and control what exactly is happening. One button being blue for lower, one button being red for higher. Cold temperatures, hot temperatures, stuff like that.
Okay.
There are 5 different items up here on the grid. So what's going to happen is Drew's going to give the contestant 35 seconds to go ahead and accurately hit hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold to the prices to see if it's higher or lower than the actual given price. On the second half of the game for the reveal, the producer will have the chair slide in to, so it's not completely like random. The producers will go ahead and have the chair slide in to the correct answers first. So so if you at least get one answer right, your first answer is going to be what they're going to hit you up on. On the far right-hand side, there's 5 little tiers. For some reason, they decided to price this game at $20,000 instead of like $32,000 or whatever, but that's their decision. It goes up tiers of $500, $2,500, $5,000, $10,000, and $20,000. So the first answer you get correct, you get $500. If you want to, they'll slide the chair into the next position for the item, and if you think that item is correct, you can play it, or you can take the money and run. If at any point in time you get any item wrong, the game is over, you lose. Key thing to remember is they're going to give you all the correct items first. So let's just say you go ahead and you play 4 and you wasn't sure about the 5th one. They're going to give you the first 4 in a row, and then that 5th one is just going to be, I don't want to play it. I'll take the $10,000 and run away. Also to note on the timer, there's a little time section over here on the chair. where you have 35 seconds to go ahead and give the prices, hot, cold, whatever. If time runs out, you automatically got wrong answers. And this is why I said it's part temptation, technically part clock game too, because you're still playing against the clock. For some reason, most of the games that come out, besides the crosses, they seem to be playing them up against the clock. I have no idea why.
Objection.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
Game.
Scott.
I would say race. It's got a mix of, like I said, mixed within the bag and a little bit of race game.
Seems enough.
Because you're under the clock.
Right.
Yeah, our silent producer up in the booth calls it hurdles on steroids. I see the comment that he has there, which is an interesting enough argument in its own right.
I need to go. As soon as tonight's show is over, I'm going to CBS.com to watch today's episode.
Yes, that's the.
I already know the outcome of this particular playing. Let's just say it's worth watching.
Right.
That's
the funny thing. If you have not seen it, you go over to CBS.com and watch today's episodes. Also, on a side note, I guess this is Let's Make a Deal's new thing. Mega Deal is back this week. I literally
did anybody win?
Yeah.
No,
yeah, they like to do that now for the new season.
No, she did get the big deal. She did get to choose, but she chose the wrong disc. That much I'll spoil to you. It's still unbeaten.
One of these days.
Still the only deal on the show nobody's won.
Exactly.
Yes.
What about Super Deal on the original version with Monty Hall?
That one was won.
Oh yeah, several
That
people
has
won
been
the
won
Super
at
Bowl.
least twice.
Yeah.
Right.
Multiple times.
Right.
The most famous.
Super Deal was won on Monty Hall, and it was won at least one time on Wayne Brady's version. The Mega Deal, which was made for Wayne Brady, was never won at all. I watched both premiere weeks.
2 years.
This season and last season. And
2 years we've had the Mega Deal. 2 years it hasn't been beat.
Nope.
What is the Mega Deal?
So the Mega Deal pretty much goes, if you decide to play for the big deal of the day, Wayne will go ahead and give you the option of choosing 1 to 7 discs on top of a stage. You choose an indicator, you go ahead and say that disc is it. If you win the big deal, he'll reveal the result of that disc. If that disc says win, in addition to winning the big deal, you'll win every single non-cash, non-zonk prize given out on that game that day.
Okay, so we're only talking prizes, not any cash that was awarded. These are strictly for prizes.
Strictly for prizes, strictly for non-zonks. He makes sure that he mentions that clear. And unlike Super Deal, you don't risk your big deal when you play the Mega Deal of the day.
So in other words, it's not all or nothing. This is just a bonus.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, and the thing is that disc is taken out of play on the next show. So the next day's contestant has a 1 in 6. The next day a 1 in 5, and it keeps on going. But
until somebody wins.
Yeah. It just hasn't happened yet in that combination. So that's the way it plays out.
Yep.
Okay. All right. All right, 2 final quick items for the Smash or Trash before we get to our main topic. The next one here, another show that premiered this week, Celebrity Name Game. Word has come out, they have a home game now. So
I must get it to add it to my collection.
Well, okay, so we already got one
Celebrity
person
Name
who's
Game.
smashing it, that's for sure.
Celebrity Name Game has been on a roll for the last 2 years. 2 years it's been on the air. 2 years it's won Best Game Show at the Daytime Emmys.
Actually, I don't know if it won the game show, but I know Craig Ferguson won the host.
I could find out right now, but I'm pretty sure Celebrity Name Game did not get the show itself. I'm pretty sure the show itself did not get the Emmy. I'm pretty sure
Ferguson has been named the host then.
Yeah.
All right, I have it reversed. Craig has won Best.
All right. So
try for contestant. I'm taking you with me, Brian. You'll be my teammate.
Well, we shall see. If they make it another season, we'll find out. Okay, but all in all, here, let's get John there in a second. John, you watch Celebrity Name Game at all? And don't mind the yelling behind me.
It's all right. To be honest with you, no. I watched it twice. And to be honest with you, maybe it's just me, but I wasn't that impressed.
I know some people have called celebrity name games sort of a pyramid knockoff. It's just that being that every category is a name category.
Yeah, like I said, but maybe it's just me, but I didn't find it that exciting, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of people do, and God bless them, so.
Yeah.
I think Craig is a good host for it. I think it actually suits him when he actually round three
Yeah.
when he's the one giving the clues to the players. Right, then he really starts to shine as a host and everything.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, but I mean he he's got the talent, and but he was.
Whoop.
Looks like we lost Dave.
Okay, or we lost John for a second there. All right, but
There he is.
I agree with
As a point,
stuff like
I'll
that.
give the point of information. Yeah, so Celebrity Name Game has in fact won Daytime Emmy for Outstanding Game Show Host 2015, 2016. It has not won it itself for the show.
Okay,
Right.
I had it reversed.
Okay, that's true.
Craig
there.
has won it the last 2 years.
That's
Right,
right.
Craig
exactly.
himself, best host.
Yeah, exactly. So we got that there. All right,
Well,
here,
let me
Charles, real
interview
quick
for a
before I. All right, here, real quick. Let's get Charles in for last time. So, Charles, real quick, your thoughts with Celebrity Name Game now having a home version?
Oh man, me and Cherish would have a field day playing that thing.
Hmm.
Me and Cherish would definitely have a field day playing the home version of the Celebrity Name Game.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it would work. Like it would work for me. It makes total sense. I mean, it fits again, like I said, with anybody that's a Pyramid fan, a Taboo fan, or any sort of thing like that. I think it personally would work.
My
Right.
only
Can I interview for a second?
Wait, let's
Jump in.
here, jump in, Dave. Here, wait. Let's Dave go.
Let me say something. This concept of Celebrity Name Game, it's nothing new. There was a board game in the early 90s called Name Burst.
Oh, I
My
remember
parents
that
used
game.
to play it.
I don't
It's pretty
remember.
much Celebrity Name Game.
Yeah, it probably plays well along those lines. Yeah, so that's that. So, all right, but always good to have more game show home games. We don't get enough of them these days.
The
No, we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll give my one little thought about it. It really depends on who's making this game, because if you've noticed lately, depending on the person who's making it, you're going to get a really shoddy product. Like, for example, the most recent, I think it's the 4th edition of the new Family Feud game. It is just complete effing trash.
It's
like
junk.
Like literally, it's nothing more than a dry erase board, and I'm just there like, so we could just do this on our own. Like, it really is bad.
Yeah. No, I
We got
remember
the
it.
program. All we just need to do is just plug everything into the program.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get you. All right. Okay, here real quick. One last Smash or Trash item, and this is another one that's really come to light within the last 24 hours. So this one's kind of an impromptu one as well. Real quick, anybody here fans of classic American Gladiators?
I am.
Me.
Okay. Do any of you guys remember there was a contestant who was on the show in the second year of the show. He ends up being the runner-up of the entire season. His name was Rico Constantino.
A former WWE
I remember
wrestler.
him.
Yeah.
Yes. Years later, correct, right. He did spend a couple of years in the WWE, and he had a good career there, and he kept the wrestling career going for a few years afterward. Well, word has come out this week, and this is a little bit of sad news, that Rico is having some physical problems. There's actually a GoFundMe page that somebody started on his behalf to cover his medical bills. According to the information on the GoFundMe page, it says that within the past year, Rico has visited the doctor 5 times for his different health issues and was forced to stay twice. He has 2 leaky heart valves and 2 blood clots and traumatic brain issues.
Man, that's heartbreaking. I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, like I said, this literally just came to light in like the last 24, 48 hours. And like I said, somebody that has a good personal relationship with him, has started a GoFundMe page to try to help cover his medical bills and stuff. As of this moment right now, in the past 2 days, they're seeking a $10,000 goal. They currently have $3,845 raised toward the cause. So yeah. So if anybody out there was a fan of Rico's and or still is and wants to help out, you can go to www.gofundme.com/Rico Constantino. That's Constantino. In case you're not forget how to spell it and stuff like that. Chances are, if you look up the name Rico, you'll probably be able to dig up his name. So
another subject for another night.
Yeah.
He's not the only contestant from American Gladiators to have, how would we say, problems.
Well, yeah, problems in different categories and stuff like that. Where, yeah, but like I said, that was just literally like, you know, fresh on the wire, just in very recent memory. So I want to make sure we gave that news out there, and just make sure give our viewers a chance to say, you know, hey, you know, if you were a fan, you know, he could use your help. So go to the GoFundMe. After the show, we'll put a link to that GoFundMe in the link below this in the comment. That you know what I mean. We're gonna put it below this video, so if you want to donate, it'll be there. So we'll give you guys.
We'll put it in the video description on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Right. Exactly. That thing. All right. Okay. So that's gonna take care of Smash or Trash for tonight. So now let's get to the main. Let's get to the main business that we have for tonight, because we just have wrapped up another season of American Ninja Warrior, and so right now the show is still, you know, generating all the buzz, to the point even that I actually just found out a little earlier today. I saw on Channel 9 here in New York. Now the American Ninja Warrior shows are they're not just on Esquire anymore. They're syndicated. They do they're doing a 9 o'clock run on Friday nights now.
Oh Lord, I am a little bit.
So they've officially reached the syndication point. So that's new information here.
Oh,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I hear syndication. I'm thinking back to when Millionaire was announced to go into syndication, and
no, Paul, no, wait, you're misunderstanding.
No, we're not talking about taking the show into syndication.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the rerun package.
Repackaging the reruns.
Okay.
No, not first run. Not first run show.
Okay. Okay. Thank God for that.
Okay. No. I understand what you're talking about.
Think what they did with Cash Cab.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about what they did with Cash Cab.
So they would still air on cable, but you would get it. Okay. I got you.
Okay, I apologize if that wasn't clear before, whatever. All right, but anyway, let's see. When Game Show Talkin' Fun was last here, back in 2010, like I said, American Ninja Warrior was really just getting off the ground, at least in the fashion that we know it now. So we never really got to talk about it back then. So in discussing what just happened in the current season, we want to first start by just giving everybody out there, we just want to get first some recap of the actual history and what led us to this point. And I'm going to, just to make sure I've got all my dates right, I'm going to make sure to queue up some things regarding it in Wikipedia, because as most people know, American Ninja Warrior, it was established from the original Japanese version, Sasuke, which has been in existence since 1997. Ultimately, we in America became such a fan of it because the now defunct G4 TV channel, which is now Esquire, began showing rerun, dubbed or not dubbed, subtitled packages of it, and it grew so popular in America that we started trying to go over there to Japan to compete. We had competitions to do that, to send people to Japan, and then ultimately we decided, NBC decided, heck with sending people to Japan, we're just going to do it ourselves. All right, but let's first get to the basics and stuff like that, okay? Because initially, the way it was done was that in the first seasons, it was done where we determined people. It was the first 2 seasons to determine who would go to Japan to compete in their tournament. It started kind of the way you see it now. It began as they had a qualifying course. They determined their best people, and then they did it as a like Survivor type reality show to determine who would be the final either 5 or 10 that would go over to Japan to, it would be 10 people who go to Japan to compete. All right, so let's get that piece of things out of the way first. All right, so doing this American Ninja Warrior as a Survivor style to determine Japanese competitors. Here, Dave, I'll start with you. Your opinion on that version of the format.
That answer your question?
Wait,
I
didn't even see what you answered here. Wait, I don't have the screen in front of me. Oh, okay. Yeah, remember, I'm reading the information on another screen there, so I couldn't see what you were doing, Dave.
Sorry. That answer your question?
Okay,
no good.
but okay, well, what made it not good? That's the thing we want to know. Why did it not work as a Survivor style thing?
I guess you could say G4 saw it wasn't working. I mean, face it. You can't, a show that is all about trying to complete an obstacle course, you can't operate like spread out over X amount of weeks, contestants trying to backstab one another to get the right to go to Japan to compete on this thing. Although, understand one thing, there was $250,000 on the line.
Right. Yeah,
but
there's always been that prize. Yeah, absolutely, or whatever. Okay, I'm just okay, yeah, so that's what they did, and yeah, they did this for the first 3 seasons. I'm sorry, not the first 2. Okay, Scott, your opinion with regards to making it a, doing initially as a Survivor style competition.
Show.
Okay, all right, Paul, Paul and Chris or Charles, Chris, very good. Paul and Charles, you in agreement on that too?
I think it was just garbage. It's like someone fell in the warped wall 5 or 10 times.
I kind of didn't really like the reality side of it because it was too campy. It was like campy as all shit. I'm over here watching it. I'm over here watching it, and I'm like, why? We don't need all this dramatics. Like, it's dramatic enough for the person to get sent over there to Japan to either pass or fail on the course. And when it went over there to Japan, no American made it past, I think, stage 3. So it's like,
in one of them, yes. I'll dig that up in a second. I'll get that stat.
Right.
Yeah, that took place in the because the stats say that yes, the only the first time we did it in 2009, Levi Muhlenberg was the only American to clear stage 2, and he fell on the shin cliffhanger. Season 2, no competitor made it beyond stage 3 in that circumstance. Doesn't say anything specifically about that tournament and who and if exactly who made stage 3 and who didn't, or whatever the case is. But we did get some season 3 people. And let me see. Not seeing anything in particular about the 3rd season here. It was the same general. The same general stuff. Again, we had people make it to stage 3, but it didn't. It didn't pan. I mean, it's typical of a Ninja Warrior tournament, which we're going to talk about that element of it in a second. But yeah, no. I'll also add this one thing, which I also say is why it didn't work. Because also, hey, and here, Paul, you talked about it being too campy. So we have to forget that they actually did the Survivor type of thing. They called it Ninja Warrior Boot Camp. Remember?
Yep.
So they had everybody staying in the camp huts and the whole thing like that. But the thing was, I remember the elimination challenges that they would do were at the time more geared toward, like, rather than being like Ninja Warrior style obstacles, they were more like parkour sort of things or whatever. Which that was a big hook at the time.
At the time, Brian, parkour artists were the ones that were dominating
Right,
Ninja.
exactly. Yeah.
I was literally just about to comment that same thing because I think the person who won the first time that got sent to Japan was a parkour artist, and it was like every other person who did parkour went and they won. So I'm like, oh, okay, so you got to do parkour then. So,
well, right, exactly. That was Levi Muhlenberg who did that. He was the one that had that whole thing kickstarted. So that was the way it did. So that's the way it went for the first 3 years. Okay. Then come year 4, we finally, NBC finally came and said, okay, hey, wait a second here. We're making it so only 10 people are really doing the whole thing, and those are going to Japan. Why are we just limiting to 10 when we've clearly shown these first 3 seasons our number of competitors is growing? We keep having more and more people that want to take part in this. So let's actually really open it up to the masses, and let's just do it here on home turf. And that's now what we've been doing for the past 5 years. Okay.
Now you have to understand one thing. NBC had to get permission from the Tokyo Broadcasting Service to do this.
Well, the main reason why that happened is because of we know why Midoriyama was stopped being used. And NBC wanted to keep doing it. So Tokyo Broadcasting Service is like, yo, y'all want to pay for this? Y'all want to host it? Go here. And they gave NBC the entire format and their permission to, either their permission or their blessing, because let's face facts. This Ninja Warrior, this Sasuke is different, way different than Japan's Sasuke tournament as well. And I can kind of see that certain kind of aspects of Ninja Warrior, particularly season 1, season 2, emulated what happened in Japan during their ninja trials. So as much as I complain as being campy, it's kind of valid.
Yeah, which that's that makes sense. And you have to consider we're not the only ones in the world now that have our own version of the show. So I mean, there's an Australian version that's going to start. There's an Australian version.
Does England have theirs yet? I heard somewhere that England was getting ready to do one. I heard somewhere that England was getting ready to do one. I knew about Australia. Yeah,
Australia's going to do it next year. As far as I can read, there is a Ninja Warrior UK that exists. Yes, it does. They've had 2 series so far. Yeah, currently here are all the countries that do their own Ninja Warrior now. Singapore, Malaysia, Turkey, Sweden, Denmark, the UK, Bahrain, China, Indonesia, and Vietnam. And also this year, France and Germany are starting their own versions. And as said, Australia is going to start one next year. So, and that's all coming again from the Japanese package, making its way all around the world like this. So it's pretty a lot as to the show's popularity worldwide.
Go ahead, David. Oh, David's quit.
David, lose you there? Oh yeah.
And he's gone.
All right. Well, let me see. Okay, here, Charles. Why don't you jump in on that? Because what do you think in regards to all the countries now that do that show?
Holy cow! I think it's a really great thing for Ninja Warrior to go global. I love it.
Did you even realize there were that many?
Not really.
Because I'll be honest, I was only aware of ones that were in the UK, Finland, and Asia. I did say Finland, right? But Finland's on it. Or Sweden, I'm sorry. Yeah, but I was aware of those versions because I had read articles relating to them. But I didn't realize that there were so many other countries that had their own version by this point. But it shows that everybody around the world is ready to play now.
Pretty much what we have here now, Ninja Warriors, forgive me, is the new Gladiator. That's what it's boiled down to.
I can accept that.
Okay, and here, David, I wanna follow up on something. Since you brought up Gladiators, I wanna bring a comment about something because I know in the last week or so leading up to our doing the show tonight, you and I were talking personally about this a little bit. The whole idea that like you said, in the beginnings of our American Ninja Warrior, when we were sending people to Japan, we had a $250,000 top prize to any American that cleared the top. It ultimately made its way to $500,000, and now the prize is $1 million. Okay, but here's something interesting, and the fact you brought up gladiators. I remember that several years ago. You remember how they released the first season of Gladiators on DVD? You guys remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Okay, I remember.
Are we talking about the?
Well, that first season, well, here, I'll give you the details of it later. But anyway, here's the key. In the episode commentaries that existed, Dan Clark, the gladiator who played Nitro, he said in the commentaries that really the fact that a lot of people from back then were saying that the real reason that they came on the show wasn't about the money. It was you had that music disc.
Yep, I have it. Best thing from Amazon.
And I have the
Save me a copy of that.
Nintendo and the Genesis.
Oh God!
I'm missing something here.
Okay. Well, anyway, coming back to my point here. So the thing was, though, that Nitro said on the episode commentaries that he remembers from a lot of people that were on the show back then and were talking about. They said the majority of them said the real reason they were on the show was to get a chance to compete again and just be able to physically prove that they were the best. And that, to be honest, and this was Nitro's opinion, that most of them, even if there was no money, no prize offered, most of those people would have still done it anyway. And I honestly think, in my opinion, the same holds true for Ninja Warrior. Yeah, there's that $1 million top prize that exists now, but I don't really think that if you took the money off the table, you're still giving somebody a big daunting challenge. That you're saying, here, beat this. We bet you can. And you're still gonna get a ton of people that will come up and say, "Oh yes, I can." You know. So here, John, you came back in for a second. What do you think in general with regards to that? Would you agree with that opinion? Do you think people would still do it even if there was no money on the table? John, you in there?
Oh, I'm sorry, but
okay.
Probably, yeah. I mean, we live in an era where basically everything now is recorded in Google. We got social media here, and I think that I have to agree with you that the possibility of getting 15 minutes in, being famous is a big thing for people. I mean, you can win $1 million, but to have all that free publicity, is probably going to be worth more.
Yeah, very, very possibly true there. Okay, here, David, jump back in. What do you think with regards to it?
Okay, now when you put it that way, you're probably right, Brian. They would probably be lining up in droves just to say, yeah, I can beat this thing. But I can tell you point blank, the $1 million is a pretty big incentive for not all of them, but for quite a few of them. That $1 million is quite an incentive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because you look at it now when you watch American Ninja Warrior, you see when they do those contestant interviews, most people are just talking about, I want to be the next American Ninja Warrior. They're not talking about the money at all. So
no, they're not.
So yes. Yeah, so that's how that plays out there. So we see that.
I guess you could say the way I looked at it until, the last couple of days, NBC dangles a check for $1 million in front of you and says, all you got to do is complete these 4 obstacle courses and it's yours. And in my opinion, it's like, well, many of them was just like, okay, that's all I got to do to get this money. Where do I sign up? And now I'm realizing that's not the case. A lot of these guys, and girls. We got to realize that it's not just
Oh yeah,
men
we're
that
gonna
are
get to
completing
that.
this.
Right,
It's
exactly.
not just men that are trying to beat this thing. Women are too.
Yeah, yes, we're going to get to that because this season broke a lot of records for women. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But now, going on the subject. So we've been doing this now for the past 5 years, and one of the things that we've been consistently trying to do here is that, sure, we have a lot of obstacles in our courses, both in the qualifying courses, which is kind of something that the Japanese doesn't do. Yes, the Japanese version has now trials that the contestants have to pass in order to be one of the 100, but I don't think theirs goes to the extent that ours does, that we have pretty much, you got to do 2 obstacle courses just to get to Midoriyama. So really, you got to beat 6 to get the win for us, or as close as possible to 6, because you could still fail in the qualifying or the finals and still be well enough to make the next step. You know, so you have that happening. But one thing that's interesting about about when we do our qualifying courses, and even when we do Midoriyama itself, we have a lot of original obstacles that you don't see them in Japan. We've made up a lot of our own original things that have a lot of different physical dynamics to put together with them. But with those new ones, and we'll get to some of the new ones that came from this year in a second, obviously there's different classic obstacles that everybody loves. Now, okay. Now, David, I know you said, David, that you think in terms of the best classic obstacle or favorite, you said the warped wall was going to be a shoo-in, hands down. Right? Dave, you there?
Dave might be MIA right now.
Okay, all right. Well, here, Paul, you check in first there. All right. As far as for you, your favorite classic obstacle?
It definitely has to be the warped wall. Like that's the obstacle that's going to make or break your run. Like you can't make it up that even during the trials, even during the actual city finals, and after that, you're not going to Midoriyama. You're done. That's it. You stop.
There. Okay, fair enough. All right, Scott, for you, what's the big classic obstacle? What's the one that really serves as the litmus test?
Probably the warped wall.
So,
I have to agree with Scott.
Also.
Okay, all right. Let me see. Charles, what do you think? What's the major classic?
My favorite is the jump hangle.
Oh, you like the jump hang? Okay, do the trampoline and then grab the hanging net.
Yeah, no.
So that one's a personal favorite for you there. See, I told you, David. I told you there were going to be other ones. I didn't think it was just going to be a unanimous vote there.
Understand one thing too. While we're talking about this, the FCC dictates that if NBC is going to give away $1 million for beating American Ninja Warrior, NBC has to demonstrate to the FCC that these obstacles can be completed. So yeah, they are tested before they are put on the show. So they have been completed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, now when you watch as they do each show, when they show you the obstacles that are in play for that night, you see the technical crew going through the obstacles themselves as a demonstration to show, okay, this is what you got to do. So you see them physically accomplishing it in the process. So,
those are from the demonstration tapes that NBC has to submit to the FCC to prove.
Right. That's what we're saying.
We're not making it possible. You can do it.
Yeah, exactly. There. All right. And let me see, John. What about you? What's the big Ninja Warrior obstacle you think?
Well, to be honest with you, I really don't have a favorite. It's just interesting to watch, if you know what I mean, because because for myself, when I watch it, it's like I wouldn't make it past 1 minute, you know. But did you see them in all these different, you know, crazy things they do? And it's like, wow.
Right.
Brian,
No, right, exactly. Yeah. Now, I'll go so far actually as to give you guys two, okay? Because there's two other major ones that, I mean, yes, the warp wall, you guys are all right about that. But I'd say that there's two others that really, like, if you really pride yourself on being a ninja warrior aficionado and a physical expert at it, aside from the warp wall, there's two others you got to master. And those would be the salmon ladder and the cliffhanger in any
we'll
of its
talk about the
incarnation.
salmon ladder in a couple of minutes.
Oh, yes.
NBC did something with it this year that I never thought.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Paul. I sent you the picture of it before the show. If any of you out there did not see when the contestants got to Mount Midoriyama this year, when they got to stage 2 of the final course, they took the salmon ladder that we know and they really upped the ante on it. Paul, do you have that picture? Yeah, can we cue that up there? There it is.
Now you not only have to go up it, you got to go down it.
Yes. Now, I should point something out here. The salmon ladder between the Japanese version and the American version has gone through several evolutions. Now, you see that in this picture, you see that there are two salmon ladders. That has existed both in Japan and America for several years. Now, I know that the Japanese currently have a similar version. I read up on it before the show. They have a similar version to what you see here with the down-up salmon ladder, where there's actually two sets of salmon ladders that you got to do in Japan, and one set requires you to go up, one set requires you to jump to the next bar and go down instead. This plays a similar fashion to that, but the idea of chinning up and doing the bar and raising and getting it up to the next bar, I still can't fathom for myself the physical strength that's required to do that. And now to be able to reverse your direction and follow gravity and go down, that's a scary prospect. Some people were able to do it this year. I think out of the 17 people that made stage 2 this year, I think at least half of them did clear this obstacle, which is saying something.
Brian, I think I asked this while we were off the air. There's no prize if no one beats Midoriyama. It's all or nothing. Am I right?
It's all or nothing. You have to.
Yeah, if you want to win anything, you got to clear the whole thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
At best, NBC. If you qualify for the finals, NBC will send you out there, but you're on your own after that. Like that's what they're going to do. They'll give you the round trip ticket.
Once you get to Las Vegas, it's all or nothing.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yep. So that's how that pretty much works out. Now let me see here while we're getting some other someplace. Here, Paul, since you've got all the pictures in front of you, did you see any other one in particular in terms of the new obstacles this season that looked really interesting or intimidating to you? Because like I said, we're inventing new obstacles all the time here in the States, and some of them definitely add to the challenge more than they should.
This one, the circuit board. So pretty much they took the combination of the flex hang and said, all right, so now you're gonna have to traverse this entire pathway with this hook and ball kind of contraption that they give to you. But
like a little eye bar.
Yeah, it gets even more complicated because of the fact that the ball part of the eye bar only fits within certain pegs, so you can't put it into any one of them and just traverse one side. No, you have to literally plan it out. Mind you, you're still sitting up there. You have to go through 3 of these panels just to get across.
Yeah, and
I didn't get the chance to see this one.
Yeah, this was in the finals.
Yeah, this was in one of the city finals courses. Let me see. I can find it on my thing. Which city finals used this one? I believe it was that was from Indianapolis. Indianapolis did that one in their city finals course, and there was a similar version of this obstacle that was the first obstacle of our stage 3 this year. They had a different name, but it played to the same kind of rules that you had the I-beam, you had to wedge it in, twist it to keep it hooked in while you did to the next one, and so on back and forth. So you could see how very deceptive and difficultly creative that they're becoming with these obstacles. But the big thing though, if you're going to talk stage 3, you got to talk the cliffhanger. Because that bar has been raised so many times with the cliffhanger over the years, especially now that we had the ultimate cliffhanger. Okay, now wait, Paul. Can we take a picture somewhere of the ultimate cliffhanger?
I'm talking about the cliffhanger. The warped wall keeps changing every year. They keep making that damn thing tougher. Seems like every year
they raised the height a little bit this year. You're correct.
They either make it taller or they make the angle of the wall sharper. They do one or the other.
Right. So that's the way that plays out. But like I said, no. The thing though, definitely with the cliffhanger. This is the one. Okay, now here's the thing we got to see about this. Now this is not the way this is what the ultimate cliffhanger looks like. It doesn't totally look this way anymore. We'll talk about the differences as we go here in this piece, all right? But here's the thing. When they first debuted this obstacle in Japan, initially nobody passed it, but there was a reason that nobody passed it. You see the long bar, the long horizontal bar on the left side? Mm-hmm. The ones over there? In the first tournament that Japan used that obstacle, they actually had that bar too high up on the wall. No one could reach it.
So this was this intentional, or was it?
I think it was a question that they realized that that they designed it. They obviously did it with the intention of being difficult, but they looked back and they saw that really because you look at the wall that's underneath it, you see how it's angled against gravity. So that adds to the challenge of trying to reach up to it. You see what I'm saying? Do you guys see it there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, the problem was that when they saw in Japan that nobody was able to reach that first horizontal bar, they finally decided and said, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, we know we want this to be difficult, but we kind of made it too difficult. So they lowered it to the height that you saw there in the picture. At least then it was accomplishable. Still highly difficult, but accomplishable. Okay. Now Japan does not use that version anymore. And to a moderate extent, neither do we. The one that they use now, and if we can get a picture of that one, is called the Crazy Cliffhanger. Okay, I want to see if we can get a crazy cliffhanger. Here, while you dig up a crazy cliffhanger picture, Paul, we got somebody new that came in. It looks like, let's see, Justin Davis. Is that your name, sir?
Yes.
Hello there. Where are you calling to us from tonight?
My house.
I mean, where is that?
Near Bronx.
Oh, okay, so you're from the New York area too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here for the first time. We're talking about right now some of the obstacles involved within Ninja Warrior, particularly the cliffhanger. What are your general takes on the? Oh, somebody's calling in there. What are your general takes, Justin, on the cliffhanger obstacle in general? And we'll get to the crazy one in just a second.
I've only watched Ninja Warrior once and never again, so I can't really say much about it.
Why? What turns you off to it?
Nothing turns me off to it, but I have no idea. I don't really watch a lot of TV.
All right, but now in your previous experience within watching watching Ninja Warrior, you've seen some of the obstacles that we've shown the pictures of here so far.
I think so. If I remember correctly, I might have.
Okay, all right, because like I said, the one we're talking about right now, the cliffhanger, that's in the third out of the fourth stage of the tournament. It's one of the most physically taxing obstacles. Now, this is the way that it looks. Now, even this is not the current version of the cliffhanger in Japan, but it's the kind of version that they use now. It's called the crazy cliffhanger. Now, the way this one works, you start with the bars that you can see there. You're starting all the way on the left. You work your way up. You grab the next red bar that's there, and then the one underneath it. But when you get to that little one right there where Paul has the arrow, you see if the bar stops, and it's not enough to get to the platform on the other side. The way you have to get to it is you have to jump yourself to this other hanger on the other side, and there's a bar waiting over there. Now, just in general, just looking at that, Justin, because there's one more thing I got to add to this, but just looking at that, what do you think about the challenge of that obstacle?
It doesn't look like you'll be able to make the jump, first of all.
I know, it seems, especially when you consider that those ledges only have about maybe an inch for you to grab onto.
It seems really difficult. Like if I guess the best way to make an example is that like if you look at if you took a picture of a Mario on stage and put it directly on a wall and you tried to put your finger on top of it, that's probably like the exact type of space that you have on that bar.
There's an interesting analogy for you. I like that one. Here, John, what do you agree with that assessment?
Well, I'll tell you something, everybody. I don't know if this has ever been talked about before involving this show, but doesn't it get scary when they think that there might be a possibility that somebody could fall and then, hopefully not, but maybe something catastrophic will happen, if you know what I mean?
Oh, you mean to the point of injury? Well, believe me, there have been injuries that have taken place in the show over the course of its history. I even remember one year when, in the early years of American Ninja Warrior, when we were sending people over to Japan, one of our guys blew out his knee on one of the landings on stage one, and he was in traction until the entire next year.
Right, but I'm just afraid about seeing all these different, games they have, but as somebody could die. I mean, I know that sounds kind of dramatic.
Yeah, but I think that goes down to another. Well, here, go ahead, Scott, because I think you're thinking the same thing I am.
It was 2 years ago they had someone at Midoriyama. At our Midoriyama that actually fell in the water and couldn't swim.
Once in a while we run into those people, yeah. But I think in general, and you could track me on this, Scott. I think obviously with these physical kind of shows, the idea is that they should always have those legal waivers that they would have you fill out that would say, you have to assume all physical risk. Correct?
Yeah. As a smart thing to do because but there's a possibility, you never know.
Yeah. And it's pretty much with any physical show and things like that. Yeah. And coming back down to the cliffhanger, if you think seeing that crazy cliffhanger is crazy the way it looks now, consider this: the current version in Japan, as well as on our ultimate cliffhanger, you got that one jump, but you got to jump back again. There's 2 jumps now.
Yeah.
So
it's a switchback.
Yeah, exactly. They keep ramping up the challenge of that obstacle, but it definitely goes to say that anybody that can beat those cliffhanger obstacles stands a really good chance of making it to the final stage. Not a guarantee, but a very good chance. So that's the way that goes. So we got that. Okay, now because we got about 15 minutes left here. I want to make sure we get some things established here, because in all this history, we want to acknowledge some statistics that came from this season's American Ninja Warrior, because we had a lot of records that were broken and stuff like that. The first major, actually, most of the major records revolves around the women, as David referred to earlier in the show. As the years have gone on here, Ninja Warrior has essentially been a male-dominated competition, and I guess considering that there's a lot of obstacles that revolve around brute upper body strength, that generally makes sense. But if that's not to say that a lot of women have come up over the years, and this is just as true in Japan, and said, hey, wait a minute, don't count us out. We could give this a shot too. And definitely, without question, this year more women made it through the qualifying courses than we've ever had before to date. As a matter of fact, even so far, in the LA finals, they had 2 women that made it to the city finals, and in the Philly, they had 4, which is the most that ever made it to a city finals course.
How did Tracy do this year?
What happened?
How did Tracy do this year?
Give me a minute.
The one that cleared. Yeah, the one that cleared was the first woman ever. I think 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, that was Casey you're thinking of, Casey Catanzaro. Which by the way, I have to just let you guys know something. Casey Catanzaro, she lives in San Antonio now with fellow Ninja Warrior All-Star Brent Stephenson. But get this, guess where Casey graduated high school from? Belleville, New Jersey, where I teach. Yep, she is a Belleville native. So that is completely and totally true. So just gives you an idea of it. And I even had to remind the guys on our football team today, because when we saw the commercial for Ninja Warrior and they showed Casey, I had to remind them, for any of you that think this is fake, hey, she did it and she's one of us, and that got them in awe finally. So that turned them around on it. But out of all the women that competed this year and years past, the one who has definitely accomplished the most out of anybody, and now pretty much has set a world record, is California stunt woman Jessie Graff. As a matter of fact, I think there. Paul, can you find this real quick? I think there was an animated. There was an animation or a video that somebody put up of Jessie Graff was at the Primetime Emmys doing a backflip on the red carpet in her fancy gown and the whole thing. See if you can track that down, because I want to just prove it. I mean, this just this video, if he can get, will just show you just like that. She's ready and able to do pretty much anything at any time. Yeah, here, take a look at this. Let's see if we can we get that picture up there? Take a look. Yeah, so just watch this. Yeah, like I said, you're talking like Vera Wang or whatever making this ball get us, and here she is doing a backflip with it on the red carpet. I mean that's. I mean, who does that except somebody that's just not only just a stunt woman in general, but is the kind of person that competes on this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And I mean, Scott, what do you think? Impressive in its own right?
Yeah.
I can
pretty darn cool to say so. If I say so myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she just went up in a lot of people's estimations. So just seeing that alone. So, but for the women, yeah, the bar is getting higher and ever closer, and it's because of Jessie. She became only the second woman worldwide to ever beat stage 1 of a Ninja Warrior course officially, and she got halfway through our stage 2, she fell on the wave runner obstacle, which came after the down up salmon ladder, but she officially sets the mark as the woman worldwide that has gone further in the course than any other woman elsewhere.
What about Ride Kamiya during the original series?
Interesting.
Well, you gotta remember, Japan had women's only tournaments that they did or whatever. You're right. Rai Kamiya was one of a couple of women that achieved total victory in the women's only tournament, but in terms of the regular established Sasuke or our Ninja Warrior, any of the other ones where both genders compete, she has reached farther than any woman has in the show's history, anywhere else in the world. So we get that. But sadly though this year, oh yes, and we have to make a note of this. They did change one rule this year, because if everybody remembers, last year we finally had a winner for our tournament. In fact, we had 2 people make it to the top of the mountain, Jeff Britton and Isaac Caldiero, who actually retired after he won last year. He did not compete this year at all. Okay? And the thing was, the $1 million was, they did not both get the $1 million. Isaac Caldiero ended up getting it because he cleared the final G rope in a faster time. And a lot of people called shenanigans to that. They thought Jeff Britton should have gotten something as well. People actually started a crowdfunding to raise a prize money purse for him, believe it or not. But and let me just ask you about that, guys. Here, and I'll go left to right. So here, Charles, I'll start with you. Do you think that both Isaac and Jeff should have won something last year, or should it have just been the person who did the best?
They should have split the pot, if you know what I mean. Split the money both ways.
I gotcha, and that's actually what they would have done this year if they had more than one winner. John, are you in agreement on that, or do you think only one person deserves to win?
I would say just one person.
Okay, that's interesting with there. Justin, how about you? Because like I said, they had 2 winners last year, but they only gave the $1 million to one person, the person who cleared all 4 stages the fastest. Do you think, Justin, that there should be only one winner, or if more than one person clears the whole thing, it should be a split?
They should have either split the prizes or at least had a runner-up, like a runner-up prize, to make it seem like, not to make it seem like, but like to have it as you came this far. At least let us give you something for getting this far and actually doing it, not just,
and for having technically beat the whole thing.
Yeah, like
okay.
to have somebody come out that far and then even though complete it, still kind of lose in a sense. It's kind of unfair.
Okay. All right. Okay, Paul. What about you? What about you, Paul? Paul, you there? Okay, well, I think your voice thing dipped out there. Scott, you got your voice intact?
Yeah.
Okay, here. What do you think in terms of how the prize money should have been dealt with?
They should have split it. 75. With that, I would say maybe since the one guy did in the fastest, give him $750,000 and give the other guy.
Give him the other
just
quarter?
for doing it. Yeah.
I get you. Okay. All right. So yeah, a lot of differing opinions as to how they should have handled the money then. We never confirmed. We'll save that for another thing. But yeah, but this year, had there been not just a winner, but if 2 people had cleared, there would have been a 50-50 split of money, or split in thirds, or whatever the case was, for however many winners made up to the top. But it just happened. That's just the way things went with the circumstances there. But unfortunately, we did not have a winner this year. As a matter of fact, we had 90 people compete this year in our Midoriyama. 17 of them, which they said on the show, 17 was a record low for us to reach stage 2. And of those 17, only 2 people, Daniel Gill and Drew Dreshel, made it to stage 3, and they both failed there at different points. Daniel Gill failed on the Ultimate Crazy Cliffhanger, and Drew Dreshel had a surprising fall on the hanging wall, the upside down climbing wall that you have to do. He made a mistake of thinking that a foothold was a handhold, tried to grab it, and down he went. So that was pretty crazy in its own right there. But in general, does anybody want to put a percentage odds on next year in terms of what chances you think that we'll have at least one person clear the mountain next time around? Here, Charles, I'll start with you. Give me a percentage. Chances that somebody will beat it again next year for us.
Honestly, on the show, you never know, so no opinion from me on that one.
Just to at least make a vague prediction. Like I said, we're not holding your life to it, but
I know it. I say I'm about 60% that somebody will win this year.
ooh, okay, gonna go high on that one. Okay, let's see, John, what do you think? What percentage you want to place on it?
I don't know, maybe 60%, something like that.
Ooh, wow, gonna match Charles on that one. We got pretty lofty expectations there. Justin, you gonna match them, or are you gonna set the bar higher, lower, what?
Can you repeat the question? I totally wasn't listening because
No, I'm sorry. Okay, no. What we're saying is now, nobody beat it this year. Nobody beat the course this year. So, but we're saying that for when they do the competition next year, because the show has been picked up again for next season here in the States.
Yeah.
Give us a prediction and give us a percentage what you think the chances are that somebody will beat it next year.
Do they recycle the same courses or no?
Well, they recycle some obstacles. They bring new ones in to keep the challenges fresh. They're constantly always updating the course, so that this way nobody can get too familiar.
All right. So I guess maybe 45%.
Okay. All right. So you're going 25 there. Scott,
No, 45,
how
45.
high or low are you going?
45.
All right, Paul. You said 45, Paul?
No, Justin said 45.
Oh, Justin said 45. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, I heard 25. Okay, all right, but still going lower than the other guys. Paul, what are you going with percentage-wise?
I'd say 60 because I'm willing to bet that if they keep modifying the track, that it's going to be at that one point that they're going to make the track a little bit too easy by mistake, and then at least one person will be able to make it up there to the final stage. So I'll say 60%.
All right. Scott, we got some high numbers here. Where are you putting it?
Well, I'm gonna have to go low, because like what Charles said, now from season to season. So I'm gonna have to go lower than 45. I'm gonna have to say maybe
21. You're getting that specific, are you? So, but yeah, because I was about in the same boathouse as you. Because I mean, we have to understand, we've only ever had 2 people in our history clear the whole thing. Japan has only ever had 4 people that have won the whole thing, and that's in 19 years. So obviously, it's difficult to do. It doesn't give you such great odds and things like that. I'm not willing to go as low as the around 5% or 3% it is, or whatever the exact number is that Japan's hit rate has been, but I know it's going to be low. I'll be a little optimistic and bring it up to about where Scott was at about 20%, but yeah, as we see, folks, this show is a challenge. It's not for the weak muscled. I'm sure none of us stand a chance at it. At least, would I be in agreement with that, guys?
I would actually agree with that one, brother.
you want to try out for it.
But we're just as happy to sit at home and watch everybody else do it and live our dreams through them, right?
Yeah.
That seems sensible to me. All right, well, here,
By the way, I got a question about the Ninja Warrior series in general.
Go ahead.
Who's your favorite star on both the American or Japanese Ninja Warrior? Who's your favorite all-star on there?
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll have to save that conversation for another time. And we've mentioned a few of them, at least ours, tonight or whatever. But we're running a little short on time, so we're not going to be able to.
Mention mine.
Well, here, wait. We don't have time to mention anything else because we're running out of time here. We got to go. So listen. Charles, I thank you again for joining us. Justin, glad to have you as a part of the group here. Please join us at another time here. Yeah, because we'll do this every 4 weeks. We'd love to have you again. All right, and we thank. In addition with Scott and Paul, we thank all of you guys out there for watching, whoever. And don't forget, if you liked the show here, find us. Anyway, Scott, quick do the plugs because my voice doesn't want to do it.
Needs water something?
Well, let me do the plug first.
Go.
All right, guys. If you like what you see here, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button on the YouTube page. You can also find us over on Facebook at Lost Silver Productions, and also, as always, we have the Patreon page. We'll have all the links in the description of this video when we're done posting this. So, for all of us here, for me, Scott, for Brian, Paul, and everybody else, talking fun. We'll see you next time.
Take
God bless
care.
you guys.
Catch up with you soon, guys.
Bye.